What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Boleros. I'm here with Gab and Maui. Say hi, guys.
Yes.
Hello, we're back.
So we're back. It's Sunday evening, 8:30 p.m. We just saw the Ateneo versus LaSalle championship game during the Kadayawan Invitational Tournament. So congrats to the DLSU Green Archers for edging out the Ateneo Blue Eagles 86-83, something like that. I think they won by 3 points. Ateneo, I think this is their first loss since losing like
Phil
five
Oil.
straight or something. Yes, since Phil Oil. And Ateneo beat LaSalle during the prelims, but congrats to LaSalle for getting back at Ateneo and edging them out in the lone championship game. So it was a single elimination championship game. Quick thoughts on LaSalle's win in the championship and I guess their run through the Kadayawan Invitational. Let's go with Maui first.
Yeah, I think yung main comment ko talaga sa Lasal is if you watch kasi both that I was able to watch both the Ateneo Lasal games. And Lasal nung first game really played poorly nung first half. In this game it was a complete different story. Lasal was energized and really fired up to start the game. They were forcing turnovers. Ateneo couldn't set up their offense. The game was very fast. It was a high scoring game. I mean, it's not very usual that you see an 80-point game in a UAAP game, a 10-minute game in basketball here in the Philippines. So very fast-paced game. If you look at yung halftime shooting field goal percentage, I think LaSalle shot close to 50%. Ateneo also shot 50%. But what really stood out the most for me is yung energy talaga ng LaSalle during this game. They quickly stormed into a 10-point lead nung second quarter. And it was really led by their captain for next season, which is Evan Nelly. This is the Evan Nelly that we know, the Evan Nelly that led San Beda to contest championships, and the Evan Nelly that was hyped for LaSalle. I think this just justifies his decision to stay to play for LaSalle this coming season. Another thing was kakaiba talaga si Mike Phillips. I think yung development ni Mike Phillips from last season to this season is amazing. Last season, Mike Phillips was just a garbage man, high energy Mike Phillips. Yung Mike Phillips ngayon, meron ng dribble handoffs, meron ng drives, meron ng post moves, and you can really see yung confidence sa game niya. And I think he really bullied every Ateneo big man, probably net of Obasa, who also played a good game. But even though Gio Chu played a great game, Mike Phillips was really playing on another level. Si Kevin Kiambao ang actually kanina medyo underwhelming versus nung first game, which I think he really propelled LaSalle nung first game. And you can see when Kiambao has that opportunity to not force shots, when Kiambao can just play make and rebound and do dozen plays, LaSalle is very dangerous. They don't have to force the issue, and it was very prevalent kanina. And yeah, yung coaching staff ng LaSalle, I mean, we've been preaching this from day one. We're big fans of Coach Topex. Si Kaloy Garcia is also there. I'm excited for LaSalle. I mean, I'm an Atenean, but this is what we want to see from LaSalle. We want them to compete. We want them to be the best. We want to see a competitive Ateneo LaSalle UAAP game this coming season, which has not been the case for the past.
Yun ang gusto ko marinig. Wow.
Yun talaga
ang marinig.
And I'm very excited. I mean, LaSalle forced Ateneo into a 5-second violation when Ateneo had the chance to tie the ball game with a 3-pointer. And then, even though Evan Nelly missed 2 crucial free throws, Ateneo still struggled to...
3 actually, Mau. 3. He missed 3.
3 out of 4 yung last 4 niya.
Ateneo struggled to inbound the ball again on a second occasion. And you can see yung tenacity talaga ng LaSalle. I think they're playing their best basketball in years. That's for me.
Wow. That's a lot of praise from an Atenean to the LaSalle team. Gab, anything you want to add?
Nothing much. I think Bowie hit on most of the points nga. Yeah, I did say yung before coming in to this episode and in our chat that Evanelli was just so dominant in this game. Not just scoring. He was setting up his teammates for threes. he was setting up Mike Phillips for easy baskets or for getting fouled right near the rim. He was just dominating everyone. He bullied Ian Espinosa all throughout this game. I guess you could have used Sean Ketevis, but I guess Coach Tab was resting Sean Ketevis maybe for the World University Games. But yeah, Evan Nelly just bullied the hell out of the Ateneo guards, and he showed his age. He's pretty old. He showed his experience, and I was so impressed by Evan Nelly. He dominated this whole game. He just really dominated. Um, for LaSalle, yeah, the defense was incredible. I think they forced Ateneo to 10 plus turnovers. I don't know the exact stats, but it felt like 10 plus turnovers to me. Including that crucial 5 second violation in that second to the last play, and that basically spelled the difference for Ateneo, and LaSalle took home the win. What's more interesting to me actually are the rotation decisions being made by Coach Topex Robinson, which are very different from Sam.
No, go ahead. Finish.
Yung nga, yung the rotation decisions made by Topex Robinson in this game, if you contrast it to the rotation decisions or the rotations he was pulling out in Phil Oil and the D League, or primarily in the Phil Oil, there are a lot of players who used to not get minutes who are now getting minutes, and players who used to start and even get fourth quarter minutes are now riding the bench. Shout out to Janelle Popolicarpi who didn't even see the floor. So I guess we'll talk about it in luck maybe or not when we get to it later.
Okay.
But yeah, those are very interesting rotation decisions by Coach Topex.
All right. So we'll get there. So I think pretty much you covered everything we want to say about LaSalle. Again, congratulations to LaSalle. That was a great game. Great clutch plays at the end, especially the defensive play that forced Ateneo to do the 5 second turnover. And, Gab, you mentioned it. That's why we're doing today's game. This is round 2. We did UP in the past, but we're going to do lock, maybe or na for the De La Salle Green Archers. So, medyo maraming players yung LaSalle. Let me just pull out the list of players from LaSalle. So, makikita nyo sa ticker below lahat ng LaSalle players. I think this is about like 20 players, 20-something players. But we're going to select. We're going to put on Coach Topex's hat and select the 16-man roster for LaSalle in season 86, diba? So if you missed out on the last game of lock, maybe or not, it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. We just need to select 16 players to make it into the 16-man roster of LaSalle. So by doing that, we have to vote them as locks to make it to the 16-man roster. Now the rest of the players, we will either say there may be, so they could have a chance to get into the roster. Maybe if they improve on their game, they work on their skill sets, etc. Or, in the next few months, knock on wood, wala namang ma-injure. But if may ma-injure or may mawalang player, maybe that player will make it. And then yung mga definitely they won't make it to season 86. But we don't know what will happen in season 87, diba? So, marami namang magagaling na hindi lang, will just not make it in the next season. But the following season, they could be the stars. So, that's it. That's the premise of the game. Let's start. So, the three of us will vote. Whichever is the majority vote, yun yung magiging final answer for that player. Okay? Gab, please keep notes para we take note of the final lineup. Okay.
All right.
Let's start. So, I think just like with UP, meron tayong mga easy locks. We can all agree on Kevin Cambao.
Yeah, definitely Kevin Cambao.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's definitely a lock. Definitely a lock.
Evanele, Mike Phillips.
Yep.
Big three. Kevin Campbell,
Yeah,
Evanele, Mike
definitely a lock.
Phillips. Okay. Now let's move on to the other key players. CJ Austria.
Yeah, lock.
Oh, si Gab. Gab,
Kaya,
hindi ba?
lock si CJ.
Lock yun! Lock si CJ
Lock
for
yun.
me.
Lock nga.
Okay.
Lock
Mark
yan, lock yan.
Nonoy.
Yeah, lock si CJ Austria.
Mark Nonoy.
Yeah. I think Nonoy is a lock. Mark Nonoy is definitely a lock.
Okay.
Mark Nonoy lock. I think it's his last season, diba?
I
Tama ba?
think, I'm not sure
He's
actually.
played 4 seasons pero parang sinasabi na this is his last.
Residency yung 1 year. Baka nga last year na ni Mark Nonoy.
Yeah, okay.
I think residency counts as 1 year. I don't know if the rules have changed, but residency counts as a year in UAAP eligibility. So Mark Nonoy is playing his last year.
Okay. So Mark Nonoy is a lock. So other players
Five.
that played minutes in last season, Ben Phillips. I think Ben Phillips is a lock.
I think Ben Phillips is also a lock as the back, one of the backup bigs.
It's not just value that he puts on the floor. I think also he's their Udonis Haslem, you know, that culture guy.
Culture guy.
If you've
gotten
to watch, that they're Kuya. If you've gotten to watch the LaSalle games, he's the guy who's always standing up on the bench, clapping, cheering on his teammates on the floor. He actually leads that bench mob. So I think he's a lock, just a culture builder, and also he has a 3-point shot. No, I think in the game earlier he hit 2
3-point shot.
Yeah, he hit 2 threes, so that's pretty valuable. You know, a big guy who can shoot it from the outside pretty well.
And
another dimension, another dimension sa bigs.
He always plays with effort. I think yung mga Phillips brothers, lagi namang may effort yung mga yan, di ba? Okay. Next. Sorry. Yun na yung mga... Sorry, go Maui.
Si Nwangko. You forgot about Nwangko. Nwangko's probably a lock also.
So,
I think
I agree. Nwangko for me is a lock. Gab.
Nwangko? Yeah, he's a lock. I mean, you can't teach height. He's what?
Yeah, you can't teach height.
He's 6'11", 7 feet. So you need him. If you're going up against the likes of Malik Juf of UP, you're gonna need Bright to put a body on that guy. So yeah, Malik Juf. Bright Nwangko. It's a lock. He's a lock.
Okay. So I'm just going through the list of mga players from last year's team, ha.
7 players na yun.
Okay.
No lock.
Penny Estacio. Let's go to Penny Estacio. He played a crucial role in. Would you say he was a crucial player in last year's team? He scored he had a game where he top scored sa team, di ba?
Actually, may games pa na mas babad pa kay Shakinelli. Kay Nonoy.
Yes.
Kay Nonoy. Correct. When Nonoy was cold, lalo ng first half, I think. Pero, I think we were talking about it off the air. Hindi na natin siya nakikita ngayon.
Where is Penny Estacio? We don't know.
Where is Penny Estacio?
And there's no news. There's no news of an injury. There's no news of whether he's still in LaSalle, whether he's been suspended for whatever reason. The last time I actually saw him was in one of Topex Robinson's. Yeah, and also in one of Topex Robinson's videos on YouTube, he was there. So I don't know.
Where is Penny? We don't know.
So, kayo, what do you think? Is he a lock? I think it's a maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, we can put him as a maybe.
Maybe. Sige, yung let's put him at a maybe.
Okay, Penny Estacio, our first maybe or non-lock vote. EJ Makalalag from last year. Feel ko he's not getting playing time. I think maybe at best he might be na.
Ako probably not. Kasi if you look at yung Pinoy Liga lineup nila, they were playing more of their Team B players. We'll get to the other names later, but I wasn't really seeing him a lot.
I have not been impressed by Makalalag compared to their other wings. No?
Yeah.
Ang dami lang mga kaliwete for some reason on the wings.
Nakakalito.
Diba?
Okay.
So,
That's-
siya yung least impressive kaliwete sa wing. Let's
So na.
put it that
So na
way.
tayo. At least for
Ako
this
may-
coming season.
Maybe ako.
Okay. I'm
Ikaw,
going
Sam,
I'm
ano
going
ka?
for na. I'm going for na. Cause,
You're going for na.
well,
so,
hindi siya pinapalaro eh. Hindi siya pinapalaro. And for me,
Okay, so,
si Penny Estacio yung nasa maybe ko. Kasi hindi siya pinapalaro pero magaling siya last year. Or nakalaro
Okay,
siya
sige,
last
sige,
year. Okay. EJ Abadam. Speaking of like guard wings, EJ Abadam.
Yeah.
I think he's a lock.
I think he's gonna make it, but I'm surprised he's not getting minutes right now. He was one of
Yeah.
the players I
Good
thought
point.
na mag-break out
Good
this
point.
coming season. I really like this guy's game. Same with yung one of the LSGH guys na going to UPC Coronel. They play similarly as a tall wing. They're both played for under 16 with Mason Amos, and I was impressed when I saw them play.
This is one of the things one of the players which I alluded to when I said that in the game earlier, Topex Robinson had a lot of
Yeah.
interesting rotation decisions. One of them was EJ Abadam. He's suddenly buried on the bench.
Not
In
playing,
Phil
yeah.
Oil, he was getting heavy minutes. Even in the D League, he was getting heavy minutes. And now he's playing 1 to 2 minutes a night. So I think he's a lock, but it's interesting to me that he's now being spurned for another player, which we'll get to later. Someone you didn't
We'll get
mention,
there. We'll get there. We're still going through the
Okay,
team. Save the best for last. Okay.
Okay, so-
Okay. So luck siya for both of you. Kasi I had him as maybe, pero you've convinced me. Kasi we like Abadam last season also, di ba? Not a lot of minutes, but he played well. He showed flashes. So, you've convinced me. Sige, we can put him as a lock. Another player from last year, I think we're down to the last two, if I'm not mistaken. Raven Cortez.
Lock.
I think.
Lock for me, lock.
Yeah,
I love
think
this
lock.
guy.
I love that. Yeah, same.
Tingin ko
He
talaga
get more minutes.
he
He
should
needs
get
to
more
get more
minutes.
minutes.
If he played for another team, he'd probably get more minutes. It's just that he's behind
Probably
the
start.
Wangko. He probably start. He's just behind the Wangko, Phillips, and Kiambao. Just too much.
Alam mo, Gab, for me, si Raven Cortez, ito yung palasyelo ng NU eh. Like, a really talented big man that just needs to get more minutes than
He reminds me reminds me of an Ateneo player. He reminds me of Poy Eram.
Boy Eram, yes.
You know,
yung body type,
diba?
diba? Body type.
Buried on the bench
tama.
behind
Buried on the bench.
Slaughter
yeah.
and Justin Chua. And then, when he finally got minutes, he's really good.
Galing pala nito, diba? Parang nakakagulat.
Diba?
Okay,
Good
I think
comparison.
we're
Lock.
down. So, lock. Agree ako doon. Agree tayong tatlo, no? So, ilan na yung locks natin, Gab, from the list?
So, we have 9.
Nine na.
7 more
we're down to
players.
the last 7 more players. And I think we're down to our last player from last year's team that played some minutes. And I think this is what Gab was alluding to kanina. Waki Manuel, who I think is also playing his last year. I think. Alam ko matanda na dito eh. Correct me. Is he a lock? Maybe or not? I'll go first. I'll go first,
Okay.
Gab. He's a lock for me. He's a lock. Just because
Sam.
of yung vet presence niya. And because nakikita ko nga, pinapalaro siya ni Coach Topex
Topex.
eh.
Yeah.
Para siyang Ben Phillips. Kuya. Kuya siya.
He hit a lot of crucial shots kanina. I'll just leave it that. But I
He
think
did, Bao.
yeah.
Okay, I'll give him that. It's just
Pero
he's
he's
a
a
very
yeah.
Sige, fine.
Go Maui, go Maui.
He's a
Sige, go, Mau,
natural.
go, Mau.
He's not actually very old. Naturally, this is really his fifth year from high school. But I think yung main reason talaga why Joaquin Manuel was able to carve his place in the rotation again. Kasi if you remember, we discussed this early in the off season. If you watch yung Phil Oil, if you watch yung D-League, he really wasn't getting that much minutes. Talagang sporadic yung minutes niya. Probably sometimes when they just need somebody to foul or somebody's in foul trouble. But this past tournament,
Or
he's
someone to
getting...
injure.
No.
Gago.
But to be on a serious note, I think he played himself into the rotation when he played very well nung Pinoy Liga. He was probably kasi playing. He was one of the few guys na Team A players that was playing in their Pinoy Liga lineup, and he was one of the top scorers from the games that I watched, showcasing his improved 3-point shot. So I think this is how he really played into the rotation. So unfortunately, despite all our hate from Joaquin Manuel, this past season, he's a lock for next season for me.
Yeah.
Outvoted ka, Gab, but what's your vote?
Actually, I was gonna say locked in for Joaquin Manuel. Simply because he's a quote unquote veteran and he was the captain last season.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, that's all.
Glue guy
But
ba? Glue guy.
Glue guy.
Glue guy.
Kailangan
Well,
yun, Gab.
for me, it's kind of crazy that you're giving him minutes over guys like
Abadam.
Abadam. Yeah, Abadam. And a guy that I think you forgot to mention, Sam, who's also on the team last year.
Sorry.
Francis Escandor. He was also on the team last year. So I think so we're locking Joaquin Manuel.
We're locking Joaquin Manuel.
Okay.
Yes.
As much as I disdain
unanimous.
That
That's a unanimous lock for Joaquin Manuel. And just to be clear, guys, ako I hate on Joaquin kasi syempre may mga scary moments siya with Ange Kwame din. Pero
extracurricular activity.
Sabihin na lang natin
on
ganun.
the floor.
But sa totoo lang, I was a fan of Joaquin Manuel in high school. And
me too.
I remember vividly, kahit nung high school, ganyan na yan. Ganyan na yan si Joaquin. Medyo, talaga, physical. Sabihin na lang natin ganun. So, physical, syempre medyo mayabang din. So, normal lang naman. But I was a fan of him back then, lalo na Ateneo siya. So, that's how he plays. I think, Gab, ito yung mas Udonis Haslem nga eh. Kasi, feel ko ito yung makikipag-away eh. Just like Udonis, di ba? Si Haslem. Si Ben Phillips, feel ko masyado mabait yun eh. It's not Haslem type. Ito, I think dog to si Waki. But, okay, Joaquin Manuel is a lock. Sorry, I missed out on...
Escandor.
Ano sabi mo, Gab? Escandor. Sige, so let's do Escandor. Lock, maybe or not?
Lock him in.
I think from the games that I've watched recently, si Escandor. Also, I'll mention also the other name that I think later, another name I think is really gonna be a lock for next season. He's really played well sa bench. It's probably one of the main reasons why Abadam is not getting that much minutes. This guy is hitting 3-pointers. But to be honest, I'm starting to get confused. Si Gab mentioned kanina yung bench mob ng Lasal. They all shoot left. They look the same pag sa likod. So I think Escandor will also make it. I put him in my list sa lock.
Yeah. And another point on Escandor. Again, I alluded to Coach Topex's rotation decisions. He's a guy who's been consistently getting minutes.
Yeah.
Since the start, since Phil Oil, even before Phil Oil, he was already getting a lot of minutes. And he's been consistently getting minutes. I think he's been consistently starting games for LaSalle. And he's pretty good. Mm-hmm. He's tall. He's big. He's big as in muscular. And he has a 3-point shot. So I think that's pretty valuable. I think he's a lock. Again, I think he needs to get more minutes. I love his game. Him and CJ Austria, I think, are excellent wing players for LaSalle. So, lock. Sam.
Okay, I understand bakit siya lock for you guys. I actually put him as a maybe for on my list just because marami talagang tao maraming tao sa team. Maraming magagaling na players sa LaSalle lineup ngayon. But I get why he's a lock. I'm not really that surprised and he's doing well in the preseason. So, yeah, let's put him as a lock. So, Escandor is a lock. We're down to 5. So, it's going to be a
Ang dami pa
challenging
nito!
5-player lineup. So, let's go through the list na. So, we've gone through the old players. Let's go through the list. Isaiah Phillips, the other Phillips, bro. Lock, maybe or nah?
No.
Nah.
He's not gonna make it this season. I think he's too raw. We haven't seen much of Isaiah Phillips. Kanina off-air, Gab mentioned, I think sa Pinoy Liga he was getting some minutes. But we haven't seen him against top-tier teams. We haven't seen him in bigger tournaments. So I don't think he's gonna make it.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so
he has not shown much. He's big though. I gotta give him
big.
that. Big.
I mean, I think kung Phillips brother ka, malaki ka naturally. But again, just to be clear, guys, we're saying he's a nah for next season. So far, that's how we see it. Next would be EJ Golyena.
Oh, interesting. Kasi ito lang kay EJ Golyena, no. Again, rotation decisions. He was a guy who was getting minutes.
He's getting a lot of minutes.
Abadam, now he's not getting minutes. So I don't know where to place him. I mean, he played well in Phil Oil and kind of disappeared. So I'm not sure where he is in Coach Topex's rotation actually.
But ba siya kanina?
As from what he didn't play.
Yeah, he played. He played, I think.
Parang nakita ko siya. Parang nakita ko nga siya.
I think he played kanina.
Okay.
Sorry, Gab.
Ayun,
what
pero
were you saying?
Sparingly lang. So, but ayun nga, from what I saw early on in the preseason, I am... Nah, you put me on maybe muna. Maybe muna. Maybe ako. Maybe.
Yeah. Ako, if you ask me, it's probably a maybe just because he's getting playing time right now. But he hasn't really established himself as a unanimous candidate to be slot in for next season. Dami rin kasing wing players and guards which we'll get into later.
Yeah, so I put him as my maybe, pero I think may mga games siya na he played well lalo ng early games. And I think people, I remember
flashes.
Correct. And I remember people were sa comment section natin, people were hyping him up, EJ Golyena. So I think there's potential. I think he's a maybe. Maybe in succeeding seasons, baka lock na siya. We need to see.
Naalala ko kay Golyena, yung small guard ng LaSalle. Sino yung small guard na nasa pro? Yung kay Delta Pineda. Yun yung
si ano. Yeah.
Serrano, Enzo Serrano.
Oh,
yeah. High energy
malaking
guard na
bulk,
malaki.
Parang medyo
hustle
bulky
player.
Yeah. Okay, one of the top rookies, Jonel Policarpio.
He's gonna make it, I think.
He's a lock.
They can't not put him in. If you don't put Jonel Policarpio in, it's gonna be in UP next year. He's a lock.
Bakit Maui yung mga top recruits nga ng UP, linagay mo sa diba?
Pero pupunta pa rin. They will still go to UP regardless if they make the team. They don't know that they're not gonna make the team. Masyado nang loaded talaga
nga.
Okay,
sige. So, agree naman. I think this is an easy lock. Jonel Policarpio.
Alright.
Didn't play much kanina if tama ako.
Ito yung isa sa mga players na sabi ni Gab na sobrang babad nung start. I think no Phil Oil was even starting some games and getting a lot of minutes, a ton of minutes. People were actually questioning why Kambao was coming off the bench because of this guy nung start.
Oo nga, tama. Next. Gab, ilan na tayo? 4 na lang, di ba, natitira?
Yeah,
Dapat
we're
na lang.
in
We have 12 already.
Ay, 12. Okay. Nathan Montesillo.
I just saw him in the D League.
I haven't seen this guy, to be honest. So, I have questions. Maui, ikaw ba napanood mo na si Nathan Montesillo and what
Ako,
do you
I
have
think
to say?
he hasn't played enough for us to really judge if he's
Yeah.
gonna make it. Just because of that, I think he's not gonna make it. I mean, you have to have guys that play in Phil Oil and probably yung leagues leading up the UAP. Such as the league kanina, yung sa Davao. And we did see him, so he's probably not gonna make it.
Okay. Agree.
I think it's a nah.
Nah. So he's a nah. Again, to Nathan Montesillo, we hope you get to play more. So at least every one of us can see you shine. Oh, isa pa tong medyo hype recruit din. More Alaw.
Ito yung mahirap eh.
Medyo
Yeah.
mataas din yung hype sa kanya when nalaman na he was
Because when he
joining
played, he
Lasal.
was good. In the D League, and in the Pinoy Liga, he started
Kahit
games.
kahit sa Pinoy Liga, he was starting games, he was playing really well. I'm actually surprised not to see him in the lineup of Lasal dito sa Davao Kadayawan Invitational. I really like how this guy plays. I thought the reason why Penny Estacio, we're not seeing Penny Estacio is because of this guy, but he's apparently he's also not part of the lineup for this Davao. I mean, I haven't seen him play. I didn't see him play kanina sa Ateneo Lasal.
So, is it a maybe? We
Maybe.
see the talent,
Maybe.
but he's not getting minutes or
Yeah, I
he's
think,
not part of the
yeah,
rotation.
maybe. Baka
Okay,
dire-reserva na lang
maybe.
pag alis ni Evanelli.
Maybe for more Alaw. Ito alam ko hinahanap nating lahat, no? Si DJ Mitchell. Really hyped one and done player. Haven't seen him
Division one,
play. According to Gab, tama ba Gab, he's still in the US.
That was in May. Or June. I think June.
Okay, so that was the
yun
last
yung may
report
back injury
we
pa
heard.
raw siya. Yeah, back injury kaya he's still not reporting sa Philippines. So we
And
haven't
back
heard any
injuries
news.
can be serious, di ba?
Yeah,
So,
we
hindi
haven't heard
natin
any
alam.
news for the past 2 months. Well,
Ito
me
yung mga-
personally, haven't heard anything about DJ Mitchell.
Si DJ Mitchell is someone na I think if you have a last spot on the roster, you can't think about slotting him in and this
Yeah.
see what happens, no? But there are other guys in our maybe list who are probably making the same case.
Exactly. So kung ikaw si Coach Topex, di ba? Anong pipiliin mo? Ipapasok mo ba dun sa last spot mo yung young player with potential that you can develop for the next 3-4 years? Or you put in the established player, one and done player na that could really take your team to the next level? So, I'll go first. I think just based on the hype of him being a Div 1 player tapos one and done lang siya, I think he's a lock for me. Coach Topex has to put him in because if hindi, never na makakalaro si wala na. Goodbye.
Yeah.
GG. Maui.
Yeah, I think I have to agree with Sam. I think si DJ Mitchell's also a lock. Just because you want to put him in sa lineup, we'll have to wait reports if tutuloy ba or hindi. But I think since we haven't heard any news, that we have to assume that he's going to go back. I think much like what Sam said, DJ Mitchell is probably a floor raiser and a ceiling raiser for Lasal. Bahala na if he comes. If he doesn't, then he doesn't. But if he comes, he can be that player that elevates Lasal into really well. They're a team, the team to beat also for next season, but probably a notch higher. We can probably put them in the level of UP for next year if he does come in.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I'll have to agree. Again, my logic is it's better to have him there than regret not putting him in the lineup.
Correct.
Diba? So
Okay.
So I think we all agree. DJ
So
Mitchell.
down to the last 3 slots. And we still have a few more players to talk about. Next player on the list, Boris Marasigan.
I think this guy's getting some playing time, but I'm not sure. So probably a
He
maybe.
is.
He has
He
outside
was in the
shooting.
game. He was in the lineup in the game a while ago.
Yeah,
Talaga?
yeah. I
Hindi,
think
hindi ko na, hindi
Yeah,
ko
he
this
na.
guy
was.
has a big chance to make it just because it's also getting playing time this late into the off season. Uh, Probably a maybe. One of the top tier players that can make it sa maybe list.
Yeah. Actually, I'm leaning towards a nah. There are just too many players. I
Yeah.
He doesn't get consistent minutes when Lasalle's at full strength. Yeah, actually, he doesn't get minutes at all when Lasalle's at full strength. So put me down for a nah. I don't think he's gonna make it.
Okay, I'm going for a maybe. Uh,
Okay, so
just
he's a maybe
because,
for now.
yeah, just because he does get to play. And medyo top recruit din to. Ryle Melencio, speaking of top recruits, Ryle Melencio.
Ito yung
Ben, saan siya galing sa high school?
Yeah.
Green Hills. Ay,
Green Hills
ay
ba?
Zobel,
O
Zobel ba?
Zobel.
Zobel. Zobel,
Zobel
diba?
Zobel,
siya,
Zobel,
Zobel.
Zobel.
I think
Okay.
if I'm not mistaken, he was the MVP ba of the juniors division, or he is definitely a mythical team member. I think si Milencio kasi played a lot of power forward
Big man.
nung high school, yeah, more of power forward, and they're transitioning him into the 3 slot, 2 slot, similar to sila Gwen Capasio and sila Baracoso before, and probably si Austria. I think the best thing to happen to him is to play in Team B this coming season. Same as what I said with sila with the UP big men. I think playing in Team B will do wonders for him, especially since it's transitioning into a wing player rather than the traditional big wing player. I think if he plays in the Team B, he can probably transition better into becoming a wing player. He reminds me also of yung another LFGH MVP player, the one that played sa Ateneo. He wasn't able to transition to a guard position. I think because he stayed in Team A instead of playing in Team B and crafting his skills.
Nakalimutan ko na yung player na yun, Maui. Ano nga ba pangalan ng player na yun? But good point. I agree. And actually, I put him as a maybe because alam ko nga, he was one of the stars in high school. But when you just watch him play, he's really undersized. Right now, like if he's going to play power forward, he's undersized.
Troy
So
Malilin, Sam.
Troy
Naalala ko na.
Malilin, tama, correct.
Same with that player.
Exactly. Big body, undersized power forward in the seniors division. So I put him as a maybe because the talent is there, but I just feel like he's undersized and he hasn't transitioned yet. But I think he definitely can make the team sometime. So maybe siya for me. Gab?
Mm, I'm actually leaning towards a lock for Ryle Melencio. Kasi I see the potential in this guy.
Yeah.
He's not gonna play power forward, but I think he can. He can as a stretch power forward. I've seen him make amazing plays on the wing. He's pretty fast. He's pretty lanky, long for a wing player. So he has the tools. We talk about guys
And he's strong.
and he's strong. I mean, he played the big man in high school. So I know just to develop that shooting and that handle, I think Coach Topex loves him as well. Played him big man. He's not in the lineup. He wasn't in the lineup in the game earlier, but he was getting some minutes from Coach Topex and Phil Oil, and as well as Pinoy Liga. So for me, he's a lock. So the two of you are maybe. Let's put him at maybe, but I'm leaning towards lock for Ryle Melencio.
Sige, so pwede natin balikan si Melencio later if hindi natin makomplete yung 16-man roster na locks. After Melencio, Matthew Rubico.
I think this guy's
He's a
not
lock.
gonna make it. But he can make it probably in season 87. He was getting some minutes sa Phil Oil and Pinoy Liga. But we haven't seen really a lot of him too much. Probably needs another year sa Team B, then probably he can fight for a slot sa season 87.
Okay? So, not for everyone. Actually, I haven't seen him play that much. This guy also, to be honest, I haven't seen much. VJ David.
Haven't seen him.
Yeah,
Sam! We've talked about him since the last time.
No. Yung mga Lasal games, hindi ko pa siya napapanood that much. One game lang yung napanood ko.
Ako,
Lasal
Gab,
game.
if you were to ask me, luck. Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I think this is one of the reasons. Ito yung player na sinasabi ko kanina na kung bakit si Abadam is really now a bench warmer. I think VJ David has really played. Si Golena David, they really played the big minutes. They fought for their minutes for this coming season. I think that he will make it. I'm actually surprised to see every time nakikita ko may nakaka-score na kakaiba yung play, kakaiba yung shot. Nakikita ko bigla si VJ David pala yun. So I think this guy's a lock for next season. I wouldn't be surprised if this guy contributes meaningful minutes next season for Lasal. He can score on all three levels. He can drive, shoot the 3-point shot. He has a mid-range game.
He's a big burly guard.
Yeah. Para sa Salle Gonzalez.
And sila yung mga magkakamukha di ba? Si David, sina Escandor.
No, but he's a point guard. So I think you can tell the difference with when he plays. I was able to watch him live when they played Ateneo. And I've seen him play in the Phil Oil. I thought it was pretty impressive. One of their best players. He's essentially now their backup point guard. Again, with no Penny Estacio there. VJ David has been pretty impressive. And I'm saying he's a lock. I think he's a lock.
Kanina ba naglaro si David?
Yes. He was there.
Okay. Kasi yung last few minutes niya, si Nelly at si Austria yung nasa lineup. No?
Actually, to Sam, si VJ David, na-hype din to ni before, ni Coach Derek Pumarin. But I think he was one of the guys that tore his ACL before the season yata, kaya he's gonna play this year pa lang.
So dapat 85 pa lang pasok na siya.
I think, yeah.
84 sa lineup.
84 pa.
Okay.
84. Even before. Si Josh, it's Joshua David. Joshua VJ David. So he was one of the guys that si Coach Derek was really excited to have sa Lasal. And I'm happy that he's finally getting to show yung talents niya. Kasi mahirap ang ACL talaga.
Okay.
So ikaw, Sam?
So yeah. Ano.
Wala na.
Are you a lock? Maybe?
Nasa maybe ko siya because hindi ko nga siya napapanood. Again, like I'm telling you guys, like I haven't seen a lot of like Lasal games. So, most of my locks, just players from last year's team and also yung new rookies that were really hyped. So, but I know, sorry, now that you mentioned it, I know hype nga kayo kay David. He's the guy that you guys were just talking about the other day or kanina. So, let's put him as a lock. So, that leaves us with 2, di ba?
Yep, 2 slots left.
Okay, 2 slots left. Honestly, like these other guys, hindi ko na rin talaga, ako at least hindi ako familiar. So we did Penny, Waki, Escandor, EJ. Who did we miss? Ethan Alyan.
To be honest, I have to be frank, the other guys, I haven't seen much of them, to be honest. Sa all leagues that I've watched, the Salle League, Pinoy Liga, and now ng Davao, I don't think any of these guys will make the lineup. Si Santino Romero, na-news lang because he trained with Carmelo Anthony
with Melo.
Yeah, but I think the other guys, I haven't seen them, so I have to say that they were probably not gonna make it next season.
Okay, let's run through the names. Ethan Alyan, Aaron Buensalida, Miko Reyes, Justin San Agustin, Santino Romero, Rocco Zamora, and then Andre Santos. Anyone here, Gab,
Out of
that
those
you want to talk
guys,
about?
Ben
si
Salida.
Ethan Alian para sa akin ang most intriguing because
Yeah.
he's a big, long guard. He played alongside sina Pablo and Gagate in their finals run in the juniors.
Romero
And
also, di ba? Green Hills player.
yeah, yes, Santi Romero. But Alian was their point guard.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought he's not a dynamic scoring guard. I don't think he's even a pretty good shooter. But he is a kind of guard, a do-it-all guard. I'm trying to draw a comparison here. Uh, Someone who does everything well except score. So that's the type of guard he is. No, he's intriguing. If there's any of these players that I would put into a possibly a maybe, it's gonna be Ethan Alian. The
Okay,
others, I
Ethan
think they're
Alian.
lost.
Maybe. Which means we still have 2 slots left. Do we lock in Ryle Melencio? Maui? Ako, maybe ako. So,
Sino ba?
pwede
Sino ba yung
sa
mga
akin.
maybe? Sino yung mga maybe natin?
Our maybes
O
are
Gab,
Penny
review natin yung
Estacio.
maybes.
Our
Go
maybes
through the
are
list.
Penny
Go through the
Estacio.
list. Go.
Yeah, I'm going through it. Our maybes are Penny Estacio, Goliena, Alaw, Marasigan, and Melencio.
I think for me, if I were to choose from that list, I have to say si Golena will probably be a lock for next season. Just because we're seeing him this late also.
I agree with Maui. If there's anyone on this list that I will add to this team, I would say Goliena. EJ Goliena.
I agree. Actually, Goliana was a lock initially for me, and then I
Yeah.
put him as a maybe. So, I would do Goliana, and then we still have one last slot. Tama ba? May isa pang slot o complete
Yep,
na
we have
tayo?
one more. We have one more. Do we give it to Penny?
Si Marasigan ba? Did we lock Marasigan?
Hindi.
Morris
Maybe
Marasigan.
No,
siya.
he's
Actually, I'm
he's a
looking at
maybe.
Marisigan or Melencio.
Melencio. Same. Yeah, I think since we chose, if you were to ask me personally, I think if we chose Golena, another guard, we need a longer, lankier wing player. So it's probably gonna be Melencio or Marasigan for me, if you were to ask me. Si Alaw probably next season, and si Estacio will have to fight for that slot when Evanelli and Mark Nonoy exits.
Interesting para sa akin kasi si Penny eh. Because he's already a proven player eh. Yun ang sa akin eh.
Naka-big minutes na eh. Yun din, actually, to be honest, I'm surprised. Diba, si Estacio is one of our players that we really expected to take a notch probably next season. He was ahead of Mark Nonoy last season, and he was playing great, especially nung na-injure si Johnny Winston last season. So I'm surprised na he isn't getting that much minutes this offseason. Even nung Pinoy Liga, I was surprised na si Alaw was playing more minutes than Estacio.
Pero Gab, don't you want to convince Maui to vote in Melencio, who you voted as a lock?
Yeah, but looking at the maybes and one slot left, it's me, Melencio or Estacio. Yeah, I like Melencio, no? But the fact na tayo nakakat natin si Estacio, he was playing big minutes.
Baka
Ito,
naman may injury
and
lang.
we loved him. We loved
baka
him in
naman may
season
injury
85.
lang din kaya wala. I mean,
maybe. Diba?
Maybe.
Okay, so I'm going for potential. I'm gonna go with Ryle Melencio. I think, well, I had him as a lock, so yung dalawa na lang. One of you guys has to vote him in.
Ako Sam, I'm going with Melencio. Not anything against Penny Estacio. I love this game. I think wherever he ends up, it's not going to be
We want to
LaSalle
see him
shine.
play.
He's that traditional San Beda point guard na very steady. But just because LaSalle, we already chose so many guards that are not that lanky, I think Ryle Melencio can make it next season.
He's from FEU though, Mau. He's from FEU.
FEU ba si Estacio? So, sorry. So, Estacio's from FEU. Still the same. FEU has that tradition of having those great steady point guards. So, he has that vibe kasi, di ba, na very composed despite
I
being a
get
rookie.
I get you.
So, he's not from San Beda, but he came from FEU, also a school known to produce a lot of good quality point guards. Just because of that, I think Lasal will preserve Penny Estacio's 1-year eligibility and choose to put Milencio.
Okay. I like Melencio. So let's put him in as our final lock.
Hey,
Again,
we're done.
we want Estacio to do well. We hope to see him play more in the UAAP. I think Maui nalito ka kasi idol niya si LA Tenorio, di ba? Si LA ata yung galing Beda nung high school. So, we wish Penny Estacio well, but for now, we're sticking with Melencio. So, Gab, give us a recap of the 16-man roster for LaSalle.
Okay. This is our 16-man De La Salle Green Archers for season 86. Kevin Kiambao, Mike Phillips, Evanelli, Mark Nonoy. Obviously, I think they're the biggest four. CJ Austria, Ben Phillips, Bright Nuanco, EJ Abadam, Raven Cortez, Joaquin Manuel, Francis Escandor, Jonel Policarpio, DJ Mitchell, who has not played a single minute for LaSalle, VJ David, EJ Goliena, and Ryle Melencio. Okay. May magalit ba o hindi?
Siyempre, whenever you don't make the team, magagalit ka, di ba? But it's a stacked team. It's a stacked lineup. Nakita mo na gano'ng kadaming players yung magagaling sa LaSalle. And there's only 16 slots. So we have to choose the 16-man roster. And again, anything can happen from now until, whenever they have to finalize the roster, di ba? I mean, si DJ Mitchell nga hindi pa natin nakikita. So, we don't know what will happen from now until then. But for now, that's our guess. Maui, anything you want to say before we end?
Yeah, I think we covered much. I think I'm very happy to see competitive Ateneo LaSalle games. And I'm really excited for season 86. We've mentioned this a few times. This off-season has been the craziest off-season from all the years that we've followed the UAAP. I don't know if there are 2 months to go. May pasabog pa ba? But we're all excited. Everyone I know, when I see them, they're asking me, kailan ang UAAP season? We have to wait. It's 2 months. It's about 2 months, more or less 2 months to go. We'll see Ateneo play in the World University. Hopefully, we see LaSalle and UP and the other teams, especially UST, play in some tournaments. We're excited. We're also excited that the FIBA World Cup is about to start. We'll try to cover it. Let's see. But yeah, I'm happy. Despite Ateneo losing, at least naka-1 all yung Ateneo with LaSalle. And I'm happy that we see a competitive Ateneo LaSalle. Everyone wants this. I mean, even if you're an Atenean, if you love basketball, you never want to see a boring Ateneo LaSalle game. I'm excited.
Okay, there you have it. Let's end it there. Thank you guys for listening. As mentioned by Mau, we will have more episodes to come before the start of the UAAP season. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page. We also have a Spotify account in case you want to listen to the podcast while you're jogging, while you're driving. Please don't watch YouTube. Drive safely. So you can listen to us on Spotify. And if you have thoughts on our lineup, please comment them down below. If you have your own lineup, share your thoughts. We'd love to hear your comments and your feedback. That's it for today's episode. See you again next time. Bye-bye.